There is a secret that separates the powerful from the ordinary, and it is not where you imagine. It is engraved in the silence of your own mind, waiting to be awakened. Have you ever wondered why some men seem to shape the world around them while others just watch? Why do certain minds attract wealth, influence, and destiny as if the universe conspires in their favor? The answer is not in luck, cradle, or connections. It lies in something much deeper, something that has been carefully concealed for centuries in the secret chambers of ancient orders. 33rd degree Masons did not hold gold or sacred artifacts. They held the key that transforms consciousness into power, thought into reality, vibration into manifestation. And this key has never been locked in stone temples. It has always been inside you, pulsing silently, waiting for the moment when you stop looking outside and look inside. This is the moment. The awakening begins now. What if the greatest secret of power was never hidden in the stars, nor locked away in temples, but buried quietly inside your own mind? For centuries, men in marble halls and dimly lit chambers whispered about mysteries too vast for ordinary ears. They built their empires, etched their names into history, and left the world wondering what force drove them beyond the reach of common understanding. Was it luck? Was it genius? Or was it knowledge deliberately concealed from the many to be kept by a chosen few? The 33rd degree of Freemasonry has long been shrouded in shadows. To most, it seems like a distant ridge, a symbolic title bestowed on select initiates. However, those who climbed towards him were not chasing medals or accolades. They were seeking to awaken the dormant spark of divinity. That spark exists in you as well. And the moment you realize how it operates, you will begin to understand why men have devoted their lives to ascending through the degrees, and why so much effort has been expended to keep such wisdom sealed. Cause and effect is a principle you already know. Push and something moves. Light a fire and the heat appears. But what the ancient initiates discovered, and what every 33rd degree Mason eventually confronts, is that this law extends far beyond the physical world. Every thought is a cause. Each emotion is a vibration sent outward, shaping reality before it takes shape. Just as above, so below, just like below, so above. This hermetic axiom was repeated like a heartbeat in the secret lodges. He carried a message. The laws that govern matter also govern the mind and spirit. When you suffer, it's not just because of external events. It is because internal causes have already taken root. When you flourish, it is because thought and spirit aligned before the first stone of your physical life was laid. Look around you now. Every object, every relationship, every circumstance you find yourself in is not random. It is the effect of causes set in motion on planes which you cannot touch with your hands, but can feel in your heart and direct with your mind. That is why the initiate is taught. The outer world follows the inner world. If you want to change the visible, you must first command the invisible. Albert Pike, the great Masonic philosopher of the 19th century, once wrote, "What we do for ourselves dies with us. What we do for others and for the world remains and is immortal." In these words lies a hidden reflection of cause and effect, not just in actions, but in the invisible motives behind them. Your intention is a cause. Your vibration is a cause. And reality, without error, delivers the corresponding effect. So to unlock divine power, you begin not with force over the world, but with mastery over your own consciousness. For when the cause is remodeled, the effect has no choice but to follow. And as you will see, this mastery depends on what you allow into the mind itself. Imagine feeding your body with nothing but sugar, fat, and toxins. The result is predictable: weakness, disease, decline. Now realize that the same law applies to thought. What you allow to enter your mind each day forms the nourishment of your reality. A polluted mental diet will rot even the strongest will, while a clean and disciplined one will nourish greatness. Cause and effect do not stop at the physical. It is driven by what you continually feed on the mental and spiritual planes. If thought is the seed of creation, then your mental diet is the soil that determines what can grow. Every word you hear, every screen you watch, every voice you hold around you enters the silent chambers of your mind, and you are always transmitting. There is no pause button, no switch. Whether you recognize it or not, your thoughts and feelings pour out as signs, and these signs shape what comes back to you. That's why the environment wins the will. You can strive to overcome negativity, but if you are immersed in it constantly, you will absorb its vibration. Cause and effect require it. The entrance becomes the exit. The cause determines the effect. Spend your hours among the bitter, and bitterness becomes your cloak. Pass them with the ambitious and awake, and you rise to match them. The philosopher Epictetus once said, "If you want to know a man, look to your friends." The ancients knew that collective energy creates a field too strong to resist. That is why initiation into the mystery schools was not done alone. The discipline required a circle, a group vibration pulling all the members upward. For the initiate climbing toward the 33rd step, surrounding himself with higher minds was not optional. It was essential because the environment has the power to make or undo the internal cause that shapes the external effect. A clean mental diet is not perfectionism. You will fall, you will falter, you will entertain thoughts that do not serve you. But the question is, how quickly can you return? Every return strengthens you. Each time you choose to feed on clarity instead of chaos, you sharpen your mind into a tool worthy of creating worlds. The mystery of the 33rd degree is not about never slipping into darkness. It's about mastering the art of returning to the light quickly, refusing to let toxic causes settle long enough to create toxic effects. And as you start to choose differently, something happens. The mind becomes lighter, sharper, more aligned with the spirit. Suddenly, the principle of cause and effect becomes more than an idea. It becomes a living reality, visible in every corner of your life. The ancient initiates knew thought is not idle. It is active food, and every mental choice is a step either upwards toward mastery or downwards toward unconsciousness. To unlock divine power, you must first master what you consume in silence. For only then does his inner temple become worthy of receiving the higher mysteries, which those in the 33rd degree so carefully guarded. Everything moves. Even rock that you believe to be solid is vibrating beyond your senses. The ancients understood that nothing in this universe stands still. Each form, each object, each being resonates at a frequency, and these frequencies call each other. And this is where mental dieting becomes more than just a thought-filtering practice. She becomes the direct sculptor of your vibration. What you repeatedly feed into your mind determines how often you live, and that frequency is what reality mirrors back to you. The initiate of the 33rd degree learns that vibration is the hidden current under cause and effect, the invisible force that translates mental seeds into physical harvests. Your thoughts vibrate, your emotions vibrate, and when they align, they form such a strong resonance that reality itself bends to match. This is why masters of occult orders could command wealth, influence, and destiny, because they were not merely thinking, they were vibrating with what they wanted. Cause and effect show us that internal states create external realities. The vibration reveals how this transfer occurs. The frequency you inhabit is the bridge between invisible causes and visible effects. You already know it in your bones. Remember a time when joy radiated so strongly through you that others could feel it before you spoke. Or a moment of anger when the whole room became tense, as if the atmosphere itself changed. These are not coincidences. They are demonstrations of vibration, the law that guarantees that nothing is isolated. The mystery of the 33rd degree lies in mastering this understanding, not chasing thrills like passing visitors, but choosing the state you live in as permanent residence. To dwell in higher vibrations is to place oneself at the gateway of divine creation. The initiates of the Scottish Rite have been taught that vibration is the eternal hum of existence, and those who ascend through the degrees must learn to harmonize with it consciously. Matter is slow vibration, the thinking is faster, the spirit is even faster, and they are all intertwined by the same law. To unlock divine power, you don't fight vibration, you tune into alignment with it. Just as a musician tunes an instrument to resonate with the orchestra, you tune your mind and spirit to resonate with the universe. And when it does that, creation is no longer accidental. It becomes intentional, precise, inevitable. A thought may seem small, invisible, fleeting. However, thought is the seed of universes. Everything you see was once just an idea. Cathedrals, empires, machines, revolutions, all began as a whisper in the silent mind of a human being. And just as vibration reveals the frequency in which you live, thought is what generates that frequency in the first place. That is why initiates of the 33rd degree have been taught to guard their thoughts as carefully as a king guards his crown. Because thinking is not passive, it is to set a cause in motion that the vibration will amplify and carry into form. When you change a thought, your whole inner atmosphere is transformed. Think of love, and your chest warms. Think of gratitude, and the heart expands. You have done nothing but think, but your whole being has been transformed. This transformation is the vibration responding instantly to the thought. And when you repeat that thought, when you hold it long enough, you do more than alter your mood. You begin to sculpt the very fabric of your outer world. This is the silent power of thought. He does not remain inside. It radiates outwards, commanding the vibration to prepare matter for its arrival. But thought is not isolated magic. It requires accumulation. A fleeting view will not reverse the momentum of years of contrary thinking. Just as one drop of water cannot carve a canyon, but thousands of drops can shape stone, the repeated thought, consistently maintained, reshapes the landscape of your life. The mystery of the 33rd degree reveals that thought is the true architect of destiny. What you rehearse in silence is what you rehearse for existence. That's why mental dieting isn't a suggestion, but a necessity. To allow scattered thoughts to dominate is to consign creation to chaos. To dominate thought is to exercise divine power. Albert Pike declared that a man is not saved by the truth he possesses, but by the truth that possesses him. Thought, once it possesses you, becomes more than an inner flash. It becomes a force that acts through you and around you. The task of the initiate is to let the higher truth, the higher thought, and the higher vision take possession of the mind until each vibration echoes with its power. When this happens, you no longer wonder if reality will bend. You know you should. Sustained and aligned thought is the very breath of creation, and it is the breath that you have always carried within you. Why then was such wisdom hidden? Why involve it in degrees, symbols, rituals, and silence? Because the knowledge of thought, vibration, and cause and effect is not trivial. It is the very machinery of creation. To put such an understanding in unprepared hands would be like giving fire to someone who knows only destruction. The guardians of the mysteries knew that thought, once mastered, could liberate or enslave, heal or corrupt, uplift or ruin. And so the journey through the degrees was not about external classifications, but about inner readiness. Only a disciplined mind in silence, diet, and vibration could exercise the truths of the 33rd degree without being consumed by them. The number itself, 33, carries symbolic weight. It is not just a level of Freemasonry, but a representation of the highest octave of mastery. A reminder that human beings are not limited by flesh alone, but are channels of divine intelligence. The true initiate comes to see that the temple is not a stone building, but the mind itself. To unlock divine power is to recognize the living altar within, where thought, vibration, and will converge to shape destiny. The rituals, the symbols, the teachings kept never intended to give power. They intended to direct the seeker inward to the source of the power already burning within. When you hear of kings, inventors, and leaders who walked the path of Freemasonry, understand that their greatness was not in the titles they carried, but in the knowledge they embodied. They were taught to live by the laws of the universe, rather than blindly stumble against them, and this is the living mystery of the 33rd degree. It is not a destination or a secret kept in dusty halls. It is a consciousness, an awakened awareness that every thought creates. Every vibration calls forth its likeness, and every effect is born of an invisible cause. To live in this knowledge is to carry the true initiation, not given by man, but awakened by the soul itself. The mystery of the 33rd degree is not a ceremony, it is a conscience. It is the awakening to the fact that you are both cause and effect, both transmitter and receiver, both thought and manifestation. Unlocking divine power is not becoming something new. It is to remember what has always been hidden in plain sight. As Pike and countless initiates have insinuated, the real temple is within. When you honor the mind as the sacred chamber of creation, when you cleanse the diet of thought and align the vibration with the spirit, you rise to a higher degree than any lodge can confer. You become the living initiate, the awakened mason of the soul. And from that moment on, reality itself bows to your command. Now you carry the same knowledge that moved empires and erected cathedrals in the mind before they existed in the world. You understand that you are not a victim of circumstances, but the invisible architect of each of them. Every thought you choose, every vibration you emit, every cause you plant in silence is already charting the path of your future. The 33rd degree is not a medal on the chest or a title in a lodge. It is the living awareness that you are the temple, the altar, and the sacred fire. And when you live by this truth, when you honor your mind as the portal of creation, something extraordinary happens. The world stops resisting and begins to respond. You don't need permission, external initiation, or approval. You need only wake up, and now you've woken up. The power has always been his. Use it wisely,